Good morning, County Council. We're just going to wait just for a moment just to make sure that we have everybody who's participating virtually on the screens in front of us. Thank you. Okay, so we do have our members in attendance online, so we will begin at this point in time. I'd like to call to order this County Council meeting of January 23rd, 2025. Welcome, everyone. And at this point in time, if you are able, please stand and join us in the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you. And at this point in time, Madam Clerk, could you please do our roll call?
Councillor Mackey, Councillor McKay, Councillor Carlton, Councillor Pringle, Councillor McQueen, Councillor Nielsen.
Present.
Councillor Patterson.
Present.
Councillor Dickert, Councillor Kentner, Councillor Keaveney, Councillor Boddy, Councillor Gregg, Councillor Milne, Councillor Dobreen, Warden Matrosovs.
Present.
Councillor Bourdignon.
Present.
Councillor Eccles. Councillor Hutchinson.
Present.
Thank you. We have all members in attendance today.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And at this point in time, let us begin by respectfully acknowledging that we are gathering on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe Nation, the peoples of the three fires known as the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations. And further, we give thanks to the Chippewas of Saugeen and the Chippewas of Nawash, known collectively as the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, the traditional keepers of these lands and waters since time immemorial. To our south lies the traditional territories of the Six Nations of the Grand River. We are dedicated to honoring Indigenous history and culture and committed to moving forward in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and friendship with all First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. Are there any declarations of interest to declare for this morning's council agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Please identify if something should arise. And with that, we will go to the adoption of the minutes, and we have several separate motions. So the first one is item 6A, which is County Council and Committee of the Whole minutes dated January 9th, 2025. And the recommendation is that County Council meeting and the Committee of the Whole meeting minutes dated January 9th, 2025, and the resolutions contained therein be adopted as presented. May I ask for a mover? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Body, seconded by Deputy Warden Milne. Any discussion on those minutes? Okay, seeing none then. All those in favor? And that motion is carried. Thank you. Next, we'll move on to item 6B, long-term care. It's recommended that the Long-Term Care Committee of Management minutes dated January 15th, 2025 be adopted and presented, including any of the following resolutions. Number one, that report LTCRCM 0125 regarding a long-term care director update be received for information, and that report LTCRCM 0225 being the long-term care operational report dated October 15th, 2024 to December 14th, 2024 be received for information. May I ask for a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Keaveney, seconded by Councillor Mackey. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none then, all those in favor? And that motion is carried. Thank you. Item 6C. It is recommended that the closed session Committee of the Whole meeting minutes dated January 9th, 2025, and the closed Long-Term Care Committee of Management meeting minutes dated January 15th, 2025 be adopted as provided. May I ask if there is a mover? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Dickert, seconded by Councillor Carlton. It's now on the floor for discussion. Discussion. Not seeing any hands raised. All those in favor? And that motion is carried. Thank you. So that allows us to move on into, we do not therefore have any closed session matters, and we don't have any reports. So it allows us to move on in this council agenda to the bylaws, section 9. It's recommended that bylaws 52-16-25 and to 52-19-25 be introduced and taken as read a first, second, and third time, finally passed, signed by the warden and the clerk, sealed with the seal of the corporation, and engrossed into the bylaw book. There are 4 listed. 52-16-25 was the bylaw to amend the Schedule P of bylaw 4788-13, being a bylaw to regulate traffic and parking on highways within the county road system. Item 2 was 52-17-25, a bylaw to amend bylaw 50-73-20, being a service agreement with the Grace Auble Conservation Authority. Item 3, 52-18-25 is a bylaw to appoint the deputy clerk for the County of Grey. And item 4 is 52-19-25, a bylaw to confirm all actions and proceedings of the council. May I ask for a mover and a seconder? I'll take Councillor Patterson online and seconded by Councillor Hutchinson online. Thank you. It's now on the floor for any discussion. Councillor Eccles.
Thank you. And the first bylaw, the amending of the schedules of the parking and traffic bylaw on the highways. There is one for the town of Durham on County Road 4 from 6 going west. I'm wondering whether that could be, I would suggest an amendment to at least 100 meters or past east of Kincardine Street, because that is a school crossing there, probably the busiest school crossing, and we have a crossing guard there. Post office and everything else on the east side, but it only went from Highway 6 west, the way I read it. May I suggest that it goes to that the community safety zone starts at Rock Street and proceeds west to Bruce Street, I believe it was, on Lambton.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Eccles. We'll get a response from you. Now, we are in the bylaw portion, which would be the clerk's department. However, I believe the questions, perhaps we could start with Director Hoy.
Yeah, did you want us to, should we take this report 4788 back and bring it back again then? We'll look at that safety zone again. There is another that was brought in recently by, I can't remember, somebody passed it in November and it didn't get into our original 4788 report. We could bring another one back again, including that one and the other one that just came in this week. Yeah, do.
Okay, so thank you, Director Hoy. Just before I go back to Councillor Eccles, then the clerk has advised me that we could proceed to, this is on the floor already for consideration. We could pass the bylaw the way it is, and then staff could bring back an amendment, and we could do an amendment at that point in time. Councillor Eccles, would that suffice? Okay, and Councillor Eccles has agreed. Okay, so thank you for giving those details of the information. That will facilitate the staff in being able to bring forth the amendment that you're recommending. So with that, we are still considering what is on the table, the 4 items. Are there any other matters anyone else wishes to discuss? Not seeing any hands online, nor here in the chamber. Then I will call the vote. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you very much. Next, we'll move on to news and celebrations, and we will note that what we will do is we'll do our news and celebrations here. I'm going to ask Deputy CAO Schertzer to begin with just a special announcement on behalf of staff. And then we'll open up to the council floor. When it comes to the Roma comments, as you know, we're about to actually have that as an agenda item in our committee of the whole. So we'll just hold on to those comments, but this will be the opportunity for you to share any highlights from your communities. So with that, Deputy CAO Schertzer.
Thank you, Warden. So I've got two announcements I'd like to make today. First, I'm just pleased to announce that Jen Cornell, our Director of Long-Term Care, was recently elected as Vice Chair of the Advantage Board by her board colleagues. Advantage Board is the trusted voice of nonprofit senior care in the province, and the board represents community-based not-for-profit organizations dedicated to supporting the best possible aging experience in Ontario. Jen has been on the Advantage Board for close to 2 years, where she has been able to share her knowledge and expertise and to bring a strong municipal rural voice to the discussions. And in speaking with Jen, it's been a two-way street in that she has also been able to learn other best practices from her colleagues that she can then bring back to Grey County to, of course, continue to color it for long-term care residents living in our homes. So I just want to thank Jen for her continued involvement on the Advantage Board and to congratulate her on being elected as Vice Chair of that board. And I also want to just thank our transportation services crew for their work and just tireless work, it seems, and keeping our roads clear and safe during these challenging conditions that we've been experiencing this month. Between the storms and the cold weather, they've just done a fantastic job of keeping our roads safe. And as well as our paramedic staff, our housing staff, all our staff working outside, having to battle these storms and these cold weather conditions, they've just done an incredible job of continuing to provide services to our residents and businesses. Our long-term care staff as well, and all of our county staff for ensuring that, again, we're keeping services going for our residents and businesses, even during some of these challenging conditions that we've been experiencing. So I just want to thank you so much to all the staff for your continued effort to keep the lights on and keep our services going for our residents and businesses. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Deputy CAO. And indeed, on behalf of all of council, we appreciate all of those efforts on our roads and then also all of our staff for traveling through those roads to keep those services going. So thank you. Indeed, on behalf of council, we all appreciate that effort. And it is truly a celebration when one of our staff members is able to be our voice here at the county table, bring it forth to a larger one, because then it gets amplified, and what we're experiencing, others are experiencing elsewhere. And so it's vital that we have that connection to these larger organizations. So congratulations again, Director Cornell, on behalf of all of council. So with that, then I'll look for hands up and for community news and celebrations. I think we had so many things happening over the Christmas, over the holiday season that I think we're all just grateful that we're here and that everybody's safe. But so I think there haven't been as many community events going on, so I'm not seeing any hands. We'll start with Councillor Dobreen.
Thank you. Good morning and Happy New Year to everyone in person this time. I just wanted to let everyone know that on February 1st, Junction Community Initiatives, in our community will be having their Black History Month opening ceremony at the Dundalk United Church on Main Street there, and all are welcome. It'll be in the afternoon. I'm not sure the time yet. Those details are still being formalized.
Thank you, Councillor Dobreen. Not seeing any hands online, not seeing any further hands here. Okay, then I think what we'll do is we'll look for a motion to adjourn council meeting. Moved by Deputy Warden Milne, seconded by Councillor McKay. Any discussion? All those in favor? And that motion is carried. Thank you. We'll just give a few moments to switch over to Committee of the Whole.